Welcome back, Sunday Society, to another episode of Taking Back Sunday. We are doing Summer Rewind, and today we are going to talk about a true crime story that we have already discussed before, and then one that we really didn't discuss but has some updates, and the one we have discussed also has updates.
Yeah, so grab your coffee, get spooky in the middle of summer, and let's take back Sunday. So Hannah, I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel like my mood is a little weird, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I just watched the saddest freaking episode of Euphoria, and I knew what was going to happen. I'm on the season 3 series finale, and I knew it was coming, but it did not make it any easier to watch. And I feel like a big old black hole is living inside me right now. So I'm trying to push through the funk. I'm like, I should not have watched this before we recorded. I had no idea that I was going to feel so connected to it, because there's no drug problem in the people that I really care about in my immediate world. And so it's this problem doesn't affect me personally, but it's such a big problem. And I'm so mad right now. So I apologize for being a little whatever I am. I don't even know how to describe it. I just feel sad. I need to cry. I need to scream. So mad.
I'm just annoyed because I offer all kinds of good things to watch, and Bianca won't watch them. Because if you know Bianca, you know that it has to be her idea. So you have to figure out a way to make it her idea.
It's probably why I'm single, to be honest. It's got to be my idea to pursue you. And if it's your idea, ew, you're needy and clingy. Ew, get away from me. But it's that's actually what I want.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, I think I need to. I've said this in every episode. I need to go back to therapy. I'm well aware, everybody. Don't come for me.
Hannah. I have not watched Euphoria, or I probably won't. It's just not my jam.
I don't know that you would like it. It's I was unprepared for how graphic it was, sexually graphic.
I do want to say that I did watch, in a matter of just a couple of weeks, maybe even 10 days, all of Stranger Things.
Yes, you did.
All of Stranger Things.
Yes, you did.
Because that's how much I loved my friend. I was like, oh, we're going to watch this finale together.
Is that really why you watched it all?
Yeah, I was like, she's really into this. I obviously need to get with the times.
Well, I will watch Handmaid's Tale. It'll be the next one. Is it on Hulu?
Yes.
Okay. And I have the book, so I might read the book
I
too.
honestly want to read the book, because I did. There are certain people that are like, I hated it. Well, if you...
The book or the show?
The show. But if you can get through the first couple episodes, it gets really good. And there's just so many things. And it's so you think could this be the future?
This could really happen. See, and I love things like that, but
sci-fi,
it's creepy.
Futuristic, what our world could look like kind of shows.
Yeah. I like dystopian, not the Hunger Games.
Oh,
which,
I love the Hunger Games.
Me too. And I just finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, or Snakes and Songbirds. I don't know what the order is. It was okay. I did not love it as much as I loved the first 3 books and movies. And then I watched the movie and I was like, this is disappointing, because there's so much that you just can't put everything that's in a book in a movie.
You can't, because you're imagining things. They would have to take your brain to make a movie.
The closest I could think of is there is a 6-part series of Pride and Prejudice on BBC that we watched in high school. So it's basically a 6-hour long movie. And let me tell you, I feel like if they didn't include something, it had to be minute, because that was all inclusive.
Yeah.
So that's...
Your makeup's really cute today.
Thank you. I'm inspired by Euphoria. Just kidding. They do a lot of crazy stuff with their eyes. But I finally got eyeliner. And I got the blue eyeliner for the game, the Savannah Bananas game that we went to. And I was like, I love this. I'm going to wear this all the time. So I wore it. And I have my fun little butterflies. I love these earrings. I got them from Shein. I know that's probably the worst thing. I got this outfit from Shein.
Fit check.
Yikes. And it says overstimulated because That's what I am all the time. Literally, we pushed off recording because this outfit wasn't dry yet from the laundry, and I wanted to wear this today because it's so comfortable. Speaking of being overstimulated, sometimes true crime can overstimulate people, and that's what we're going to talk about today is true crime, so buckle in. Hannah, I think that, and I don't know why we didn't talk about this. I'm sure we did, like, in passing.
Maybe.
And maybe it's because it had so much publicity, but we did not talk about this case, and there was a massive, like, bombshell that recently happened with this case. So why don't you get us started and kind of give us this little background?
So we're going to talk about Alec Murdaugh and the case that came out.
I also have heard his name, Alex, Murdaugh, Murdoch.
Oh, it's Murdaugh for sure.
No, I know. It's just,
I don't know if it's Alex or Alec.
They say it so many different ways. Like when you watch the court, like every person that comes up to testify says it a different way. It was like the running joke. You're like, how do you actually say this dude's name? But anyway, sorry, I digress.
So to know who Alec Murdaugh was, he was a prominent South Carolina attorney from the powerful Murdaugh family, a legal dynasty, unfortunately, that held influence in the state that they lived in. And on June 7th, 2021, his wife, Maggie, she was 52, and his son, or their son, Paul, 22, was found shot to death near the dog kennels on their family's property.
Yeah.
So Alec is the one who called 911, claiming he had discovered their bodies after returning home. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a web of financial crimes, fraud schemes, theft, including millions of dollars that the Murdaughs had allegedly stolen from clients, law partners, others who trusted him. Prosecutors argued that the mounting pressure from these financial scandals provided a motive for the murders, claiming Murdaugh killed his wife and son to create sympathy and a distraction from like the growing scrutiny that he was coming under from his misconduct. Mm-hmm. It was a 6-week murder trial. It began in January 2023. And it really captivated the audience of the entire country. Everybody was talking about it. It was all over the news.
Which is why I think we did not talk about it. We were like, what's one more person adding to this?
So while prosecutors had no eyewitnesses, no murder weapon, DNA, fingerprints, or blood evidence directly linking Alex, whatever, to the killings, they built a very circumstantial case that jurors ultimately found compelling and, said that he was guilty.
Yeah, they found him guilty.
So, I do want to just stop for 1 second because there's also like this like caveat
side quest
thing that we could talk about. So the son that was killed.
I wanted to make sure. I knew you'd talk about it. So I was
Paul
like, I'm gonna just wait.
Was involved in a group of people that were out on a boat, and a girl was found later on dead in the water.
They crashed the boat.
Yes, they crashed the boat, and she was found later on dead in the water. I think there was underage drinking and different things like that. But he had like his own, like there was their own investigation.
Yeah.
I know that they think.
I think he was driving the boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that the people say that, like the prosecutors think that he was trying to get like the focus of like, I feel so sorry instead of I'm a bad guy. But part of me is like, what if Paul or Maggie were like, we can't keep lying. So that, we have to, like, there was a lot coming out at that time.
Yeah.
That they just were killed.
So
that's what my gut says.
I think that it was in connection to that boating accident. And also maybe Maggie was going to just start talking about all the financial stuff. Like maybe she learned too much about the crime and the embezzlement and just the fraud that was going on.
There's
and he's
a lot of
I gotta shut it down.
Docu-series stuff that you can
many.
Lots of people will talk, like people that worked for the family. Mm-hmm. They'll talk about Maggie. They'll talk about him. They'll talk about their kids. Like there's a whole thing about this boating accident. So like there's interviews from those people that were involved, friends, family.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But anyway,
it's stranger than fiction. Like,
yes,
it really is. You couldn't write this stuff.
Yeah. And so, the most damning piece of evidence, I think, was the cell phone video recorded by Paul just minutes before the murder. And in the video, multiple witnesses identified Alex's voice in the background of the dog kennels around 8:44 p.m., which contradicted his statements to investigators that he had not been at the kennels that evening.
Yep.
He went and checked on his mom, and he had this whole alibi.
Yeah.
Once the video surfaced, he admitted that he had lied.
He was like, "Oh, my bad. LOL. Yeah. I was out there helping with the dogs. And then I went to my mom's and fell asleep."
Yeah. And you fell asleep at your mom's and not your house. I don't know. Prosecutors argued that an innocent person would have no reason to lie about being with his wife and son moments before they were killed.
100%.
Cell phone records and vehicle data were also used to support the prosecution's timeline of events. Investigators testified that Alex's movements before and after the murders aligned with the state's theory of the case and pointed to what they described as unusual behavior immediately following the killings.
Super crazy.
So he killed his wife and his son, which is diabolical. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's what he was convicted of.
Yes.
So
I do find it strange that and I know we're not talking about this case, we're just setting up the scene, but he had no blood on him. There's no blood spatter evidence on him.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm like, what? Why not? Because these were very close range. There would be blood spatter. So I don't wonder if he did it, went to his mom.
He probably cleaned up
and
at his
cleaned
mama's.
himself up and then came back, claiming, "Oh my gosh, something terrible's happened."
And then,
sorry.
The evidence showed that shell casings found near the crime scene were consistent with firearms that his family owned. So the shell casings came from his guns.
Yeah.
So it's wild to me because I was worried. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, they don't have any evidence, technically.
No, yeah. Everything is circumstantial.
Yes. But very strong.
Yeah.
Circumstantial
very convincing. Yeah, for sure.
So at the end of it started in January 23. On March 2nd, 2023, after less than 3 hours of deliberation, the jury found Alec Murdaugh guilty of 2 counts of murder and related weapon charges. And then the following day, he gave him 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. During sentencing, Murdaugh continued to maintain his innocence, but the court concluded the evidence was overwhelming and supported the verdict. So yeah, so after that, he got on what most people do when they're convicted of murder, and that's called appeals and all the things.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's what I'm going to let Bianca talk about.
So then fast forward to 2026, this current year, in one of the most stunning true crime developments of our year, and nothing I think has topped it since. This is still fairly recent. Alex Murdaugh's murder convictions were thrown out. They're gone. She doesn't live here anymore. And not because the evidence cleared him, but because the state's highest court ruled that jury interference may have tainted the verdict. Jury interference. So 3 years after America watched him get sentenced to life in prison, Murdaugh is now headed for a new murder trial.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you're asking yourself, Bianca, what happened? Well, let me tell you. So in May, last month, in May of 2026, the South Carolina Supreme Court unanimously overturned the 2023 murder conviction for the killings of his wife Maggie and son Paul, and ordered a new murder trial. So the court found that former Colleton County clerk of court, the court clerk, Becky Hill. Oh, Becky. I'm going to punch you in the face, Rebecca. She improperly influenced jurors during the original trial. So, according to the court, her actions created a presumption that the jury's verdict was tainted. So, what she did is she made comments to the jury during the trial about the evidence. She encouraged the jurors not to be fooled by the defense. Hello, Becky, what are you doing, girl?
Becky, you can't do that.
Oh my God. Commented on Murdaugh's credibility and body language. And then she's also faced criminal charges related to misconduct and perjury.
Becky probably doesn't have a job anymore.
Oh yeah, Becky's working the streets at this point.
Allegedly.
Sorry, Allegedly. So they concluded that the South Carolina Supreme Court concluded that her behavior was that her behavior compromised his right to a fair trial. So the biggest question, the first question that I had was, does this mean he's getting out of prison? No. He is serving a very long time for all of the financial misconduct, embezzlement, fraud. So he is still locked up. They won't let him out, which is great because he's psychotic. So he remains behind bars. He is serving a lengthy state and federal sentence for fraud, theft, money laundering, and other related crimes. So
this new trial will be, I don't know how they would find people that aren't already swayed one way or the other.
Honestly, that is a huge question that I have in any kind of
big
viral true crime cases. How do you find an unbiased jury pool? You find people that just aren't on social media.
Listen, I am all about civic duty. Yeah. I really am. But if you send me a jury duty thing, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to act like a complete idiot so you can let me go immediately.
I'm the opposite. I want to be on a jury. I want to be a jury of someone's
peers.
Didn't
you just get a jury thing?
So it wasn't technically a summons. It was like a, hey girl, you might get summonsed in this next 6 months, July to December. This is your window, girl. But it's basically just saying confirm all the information. Be on notice, girl. You might get called to court.
Hannah, what do you think if you catch somebody stealing a gas station, cut their hand off?
Death penalty immedially. No questions
Get me
asked.
out of there. Yeah.
Hannah does not want to sit on a jury.
Mm-mm.
Bianca does.
So. Well, when I was a foster care case manager, I had to go and testify a lot, and it's just, I don't like it.
So I do get worried about I am a fidgety human. I pee a lot. I have a lot of anxiety. I really don't know if I am the best option to be a juror because I would be excuse me, I need a bathroom break every 20 minutes because I'd be so nervous all the time. So maybe I'm not the best candidate.
You some briefs.
Yeah, I'll just be I'm still sitting in my dirty pee pants. Okay, but anyway, the prosecutors in South Carolina have confirmed that they do intend to retry the murder case.
Yes.
They should.
This man killed his wife and son, allegedly.
Murder. Yeah. Premeditated. Murdoch murders. He did it. Sign the chit. The defense team, Murdoch's defense team, has indicated that they plan to introduce additional forensic and DNA-related arguments that were not central to the original trial. So I'm really interested to see what they could prove. I don't wonder if they're going to really focus on the fact that he had no blood on him. And they might have even done a gunshot residue test and did not find any on him. So I'm curious if you can wash that off. I'm sure you can.
I'm curious if we have at least one, if not more, cops that watch this. So
yeah, who we're talking to.
Yeah, I do. So my question would be is if you wore long sleeves and gloves and you shot a gun, will that residue be on your skin?
I doubt it. Is my thought.
I don't know.
Cops, lieutenants, sergeants.
My neighbor.
Tell us. Come talk with us. We know you listen. We need input from law enforcement sometimes.
Maybe we need to have a guest on here
we got the interface. We got the extra mic.
For these kind of cases.
Yeah.
I feel
Spooky
we have
season.
Derek Levasseur.
My gosh. Swoon. I could listen to that man talk forever. Mm-hmm. Derek Levasseur. Just whew.
And you know what's crazy is that I actually didn't know what he looked like because I just listened to the podcast. Yeah. And then I saw him on Traders and I was like,
yeah,
I'm not a fan physically. I'm just going to pretend that's not what you look like.
Audioly?
I don't know. My brain.
Yes, his
audibly?
Sound. Audibly, that sounds better.
Audibly.
That means you can hear them.
Yes.
But anyway, we like his voice, but maybe not necessarily his physical appearance.
Yeah.
But the voice has swagger.
Listen,
my God.
Derek Levasseur, if you see this for some reason, and I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm just saying that the voice to me didn't match your face.
I'm cutting this, making it a TikTok, and I'm tagging him on TikTok.
Oh, no! Because your voice is so very, I don't know. It just it's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I agree. I
also thought he would be a little older than what.
No, he's our age.
I know!
Maybe even younger.
He's probably younger than us.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Anyway,
we're nobody, so who cares what we think?
We have strayed off topic.
Yes.
Technically, we're still kind of true crime adjacent. We're talking about police officers.
Yeah.
But that's that. There is no date set. We'll be watching it closely. Maybe if we have updates by
We'll
spooky
share.
season, yeah, we'll talk about it. I also really, really liked that we recorded outside at the barn during spooky season. I know that it wasn't your favorite thing because of all the bugs.
Well, it was the lighting. The lighting
Yeah.
to me wasn't great.
Lighting wasn't great. I'm willing to sacrifice some lighting. Maybe, I don't know. I was looking through all of our old like true crime cases and saw the barn. I'm like, oh, that was so like on brand for us to like go on location. So
Yeah.
I'm itching to go record somewhere new. We've been here for a while, like a year. I think last summer with the Battle of the Karens is where we started in our podcast room. So
Yes.
anyway, just something to think about. That's tomorrow's problem. All right, switching gears from a horrendous human being to probably one of the most wholesome human beings that did not get justice and still has not received justice. There was a pretty substantial update in the Ellen Greenberg case. So quick update or quick reminder.
And I just want to say, before we talked about that case, I did not know about it. So everything you told me
Yeah,
was like,
that's wild.
I purposely, once you mentioned that we were going to do that, I was like, I'm not going to listen. I just want to learn with you, with everybody else.
Yeah.
And now like, there's so many like things that I've looked into and like there's docuseries and different things like that. I just don't know how anybody was like, yep, this is a suicide scene.
Definitely did this to herself.
Go ahead and come in and get things. And it's wild.
Yeah. I think it's all about who you know.
Well, I feel like I was going to say this. I feel like Alec Murdaugh, his case would not have been overturned if he was a black man. Like, he's a white, rich man. And they're like, oh, Becky.
It wouldn't have even gotten the
so
publicity
wild.
that it got
Becky
in the
probably
first place.
got paid by Alex Murdaugh to do that.
Probably.
I mean, it's just wild. I'm just like.
There was a lot of. There was just a lot of misconduct and like weird things that went on in that case. And I think that it's partially because it's such a small place. It's not like a huge, like a Philadelphia, Washington,
like good
D.C.
old boy.
It's exactly what it is.
And
it's the good old boy
he's
system.
well known and
his dad's well known. His grandpa's well known. His great grandpa. I mean, still waters run deep.
Yeah. But Ellen, it was the same kind of thing. Like her fiance's family were well known and they were,
it's icky.
It is.
It's rude. I know that's such like a blasé word, but it's just disrespectful to people.
Yes.
So in February of last year, 2025, a settlement between Ellen's parents and the city of Philadelphia resulted in a new review of her death. Now, as a reminder, she was found fatally stabbed in her apartment. The door was locked from the inside, allegedly. I am still kind of the belief that somebody could have pulled that from the inside to make it look like the swing bar broke instead of pushed from the outside.
And there's nobody. So this was another aspect of that. There's nobody that can actually say that it was locked when he went up there and he couldn't get in.
Yeah, because the security guard was like,
I didn't go up there.
Me.
He lied about that. He said the security guard was there. No, he wasn't.
Mm-mm.
So that could have.
The fiance.
Yeah, the fiance. He could have been completely making that part up. Bro expects everybody to believe she put a knife and stabbed herself in the back of the head and the neck.
Yeah, and it hit the dura, I think is what it was called, of her spinal cord.
Yeah.
So it's like that sheath around your spinal cord. And that wasn't even the last stab wound.
No.
Because the knife was found in her chest.
Yeah.
So it missed me with that bull crap.
The math ain't mathin'.
No.
And the math ain't mathin'. I feel so bad for her family.
I do too.
They tried to say that she took her own life.
Yeah. You will never be able to convince me that that's what happened. I don't care how many medical examiners come out and say it. You will not convince me of that crap. So.
Me either, girl. Me either.
I'm sure you remember Dr. Marlon Osborne.
Oh, I gag.
Like a
Yes.
fly, like a fly, girl. So the medical examiner, this is the medical examiner who previously signed off on the suicide ruling.
I hope that he got fired.
I'm sure that he did.
I sure hope so.
He then submitted a sworn statement after this new review that he no longer believes that it should be classified as a suicide. So let me run this back, because at first he said no, not a suicide. And then he had like some weird meeting with like the attorney or like the police. I can't remember, but he had a weird meeting with someone in politics. And then it all of a sudden changed. It was suicide.
It was suicide.
Case closed.
Done. We're not changing it.
Yep. And then now, after this new review last February, he is saying that it should not be. He no longer believes that it should be a suicide. And we're like, welcome to the effing club, Marlon.
Yeah, Marlon.
So then many supporters believe this would finally lead to the manner of death being changed so that her family can get like the life insurance can pay out to cover for the bills,
fact that just the death certificate sign to say that she took her own life.
Just proof that that is not their daughter.
Yeah.
So then, shocking twist, in October of 2025, Philadelphia's current chief medical examiner completed a new review and reaffirmed the official ruling as a suicide, despite the renewed scrutiny and Osborne's reversal. So Dr. Osborne, the original medical examiner, came on the record and said, no, should not be considered a suicide. Yeah. And then February to October, what is that? 2 and 10, 8 months later, Philadelphia's medical examiner's like, actually, yeah, it is. Because I just don't think they want to deal with it anymore. But her family continues to challenge that.
Well, and I think that his family has connections, and I think that they probably allegedly have connections, and they're throwing those around.
Yeah.
To get what they want.
Yep. Swinging their weight around any way they can. So those are the two biggest true crime updates since we recorded in 2024, which I think maybe 2023 was the first year that we recorded like true crime. I think that's when we covered Ellen Greenberg.
Well, and remind me just really quick of Ellen. Didn't she have bruises?
Yeah, there were like varying levels of healing her bruises. Now, I know that you guys probably can't see them and they're already gone away, but like I have a bruise here, I've got a bruise here. I mean, I be bumping into stuff. So I don't want to automatically assume, but I feel like where they were and like how many of them there were, there were easy leaps to make.
There was signs that there might have been some domestic violence.
Yeah. I think,
and it would also make sense of why she was struggling with being a teacher and wanting to not be teaching and all of because if at home was crazy, and then you have to go and teach a classroom full of kids every day. Anyway, and they had so much evidence of different things she was looking up on the internet. Well, that computer is available.
Awfully convenient that she was Googling some of the things that she was Googling. There's no way.
Math ain't mathin' for me.
Yeah, there's no way to prove that it was her that was looking up those things. Yeah. Like, there's just no way to definitively say.
I do think that you can prove that you cannot stab yourself in the back of the neck the way that she was stabbed.
Yeah, and I think that if they were to ever, and maybe that's another, Bianca, another huge reason they want to remove suicide is so they can have a trial.
Yeah.
So somebody can be held accountable.
Which would be the fiance.
The fiance. There'd be no one else.
Yeah.
There'd be nobody else that could have done that. Because they had that huge snowstorm and there were no footprints like leading from the balcony or whatever. So those are the two biggest updates of true crime. But I wanted to look and see if there were any smaller updates for some of the other cases that we've looked at. The one that keeps me up at night the most is Missy Beavers from Midlothian, Texas, the woman who was stabbed or like brutally, fatally beaten in that church. She was there super early in the morning for her workout class, and you see like the surveillance of that person. I say person because it could have been a man or a woman, honestly, in like full SWAT tactical gear. And I really think that your theory like takes the cake. Like, it has not left my mind since you mentioned it, because it was a Monday morning that it was somebody going in looking for the offering that was given to that church. And Missy just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So that's one that I wanted to look at. It reached its 10-year anniversary in April of this year, 2026. The Midlothian police publicly stated that it remains active, so it is not considered cold yet, which is crazy because 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time.
Yes, so authorities have indicated that that newer investigative resources and fresh investigators are reviewing evidence and leads. And I understand we don't always get the full story of like what they're looking at, as we don't need to, just to preserve, the integrity of the case. Community awareness events and renewed media attention have pushed the case back into the spotlight. So those are the updates. The things that haven't changed: there's no arrests, there's no suspect publicly identified, and that seriously disturbing surveillance footage is still the biggest piece of evidence that they have. So that's kind of an update on the Missy Beavers case. I am hopeful that somebody has to know something, but maybe not. Maybe this was just a loner who I don't know. It's very hard to imagine that happened, and like where it happened just makes it that much more like chilling, But the next update that I wanted, there actually was like a smaller change in this case, and that was Peyton Leutner, the Slender Man stabbing case, where there were the 3 friends, and then the 2 were just like seriously mentally disturbed, thought that like Slender Man, they needed to sacrifice this friend. So Morgan Geyser, which was one of the attackers, received court approval for conditional release from a psychiatric facility in 2025 after years of treatment. And she's the one that I think she was the ringleader. I think she's the one who is more emotionally disturbed. So the fact that she is released kind of gives me the ick, regardless of how old she was when this occurred. Like, she has it's not even like mental health condition like anxiety, depression. She has a mental disorder, like a psychiatric disorder that needs inpatient oversight, in my humble opinion, my non-clinical
professional opinion.
Yeah. So placement became controversial because officials had difficulty finding a group home for her. And so she just got to go home with a monitor. Another major update is later in 2025, is that she briefly escaped from a supervised group home after cutting off her monitoring device. So she was captured and ultimately put back into institutional custody. So they let her out. She said, say less, let me cut this little thing off my ankle and get out of here. Go back to Slender Man. Well, they were like, not so fast. So she is back in an institution. Good. Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Where she needs to be.
Where she needs to be for her own safety and the safety of others.
Yes.
Period. Peyton today is reportedly in college, pursuing a normal life, and has really tried to stay out of the public eye after everything that's happened, which...
Good job, sis.
Clock it. Yeah, we love that. I love that she survived. I love that she is thriving. I'm hopeful that she has gotten a lot of therapeutic support for that. So, a local update, that there is no update, but Ken McElroy from Skidmore, Missouri, the town bully that got shot in the middle of the town and nobody saw anything? That's so weird. There's been no investigative breakthroughs, and I just wanted to honor that because I didn't see nothing.
Nobody's going to talk.
Nope. And honestly, I wouldn't either. Be like, And there was a case recently, I don't remember what state, but there was like a candidate for sheriff or something who...
Was it Richmond, Missouri?
No. I don't even think this is in Missouri at all. I think it was like Arkansas, maybe. But he killed the man that sexually assaulted his daughter, and they dropped the charges. They dropped the charges on him. Yep. And I was like, there weren't enough people to testify, and I was like, oh, they done pulled a Skidmore. They were like, not in my town.
I think the reason that he was able to is because he did not find out about it and then like just go home and like think of a way to kill this guy. It was in that moment that
and the guy was facing, the victim was facing, he's not the victim though. The man who got had like 42 rape charges. If it's 24 or 42, I'm dyslexic and my brain doesn't remember things, but it was a lot. It was a lot of aggressively sexual assault. No, aggressive sexual assault.
He did the world
charges.
A favor.
Honestly, like I'm not losing any sleep if somebody's going to kill a rapist. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
And that's on that.
I think that's what you get when millennials have went through the life that we've went through. It's like when that are we millennials?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That CEO that got killed from like the healthcare company, I was like, well, sucks to suck. And I feel horrible because like he had a family and everything, but
those are the people that I feel bad for. Like, yeah, I mean,
but I'm like, you chose that job.
And yeah,
you're making tons of money off the backs of sick, poor people.
And not and just allowing them to remain sick and poor.
Yeah.
And and you know what? Clock that, because we've lived through so many things that it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
That's why when like the Ebola, people are like, Ebola, I'm like, whatever. We've already done Ebola.
Listen.
Give me a new disease.
We grew up where you didn't have to really wear a seatbelt or even be in a physical seat in a car. Like, growing up, drinking out of water hoses,
puddles.
Water hoses, all the things. Our parents really didn't watch us very closely.
No.
We just kind of did our own thing.
Yeah.
To 9/11.
Yeah.
All the different flus and sicknesses and like chicken pox.
Broadcasting 9/11 on like live television.
At our school.
Watched that live. Children, yes. We watched it live when we were 11 years old.
Then COVID happened, and we've just been through too much. We're just like, whatever.
The housing crisis, recessions, depression. Listen, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes,
anxiety.
Exactly.
All the things.
Listen, the SSRIs be kicking in because things will happen. I'm like, whatever. Like, hantavirus? Okay. I'll just stay off of cruise ships. Yeah. Which I will anyway. But anyway.
Except for I'm worried about the people coming,
Yeah, for the World Cup. I am anxious about that.
But I'm like, you won't catch me. Catch me outside.
How about it? Not today. Not today.
I'm going to stay as far away from the city as I can.
Well, I actually am flying out on the 28th of this month. And I'm like, did I tell you that I talked to Melanie about that?
Yeah.
And did I tell you, like, she said you're probably legit okay.
Yeah.
And to put like Vaseline in your nose?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. Seems like an easy thing. Anyway, so Ken McElroy, is that what we said his name is? Yeah, old McElroy. Bottom line, it's actually still one of America's most famous unsolved vigilante style killings.
Yeah.
So Tony Anderson, I really was hoping that there would be an update. Like, this case keeps me up at night.
That's the case that keeps me up the most, because I just don't think that she just accidentally drove into the river. I just don't.
And wasn't there another car on top of her car?
I think
we'll have to fact check.
I think that they might have pulled two cars out.
They did. I feel like that was the part for me where I'm like, another car was on top of her car. How many people are driving into the river in this spot?
Yeah, and like you would have had to have some really heavy drugs in your system.
Yeah. To
like confuse, I feel like.
Well, and now after watching Euphoria, I'm like, somebody got this girl. Like, she knew too much, or she did the wrong person dirty, and someone got rid of her.
Yeah.
And shame on the cops for not taking her in.
Part of me feels like it might have been a cop that had something to do with it. So
yeah.
Allegedly.
So
oh my God, don't sue me, please.
Yeah, there are no updates. The manner of death is still accidental. Cause of death is still drowning and hypothermia. There's still the most notable post-2024 development is that the family's wrongful death litigation against Chrome reportedly resulted in an out-of-court settlement, which I think we talked about.
Yep.
So our last update that isn't really an update, I kind of started like with the most the biggest updates to like the smallest updates. And then I did just want to talk about some of our most notable cases that were just crazy that they're unsolved. The Beaver County Jane Doe in Pennsylvania. This is the woman who her head was severed and they found like the rubber balls in her eyes. Yeah, it got a lot of renewed attention after the new Unsolved Mysteries came out, which is where I heard it for the first time. Authorities continued to publicize reward offers and seek tips through 2024 and currently. But unfortunately, she has still not even been identified, which is, that breaks my heart that there is just somebody who is missing a loved one that has no idea where they are. And no, obviously they don't know who she is, so they don't have any suspects.
Yeah, that case really opened my mind to thinking about like, where did they get all these bodies?
Yeah.
The cadaver bodies. Like, where are they coming from?
Yeah. And like the black market for body parts and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives me the bad shivers. Yeah. I don't like it.
I'm like, what if like when you're burying grandma, she ain't actually in there? It ain't
grandma.
It's just nothing, you know? Like, how would you know?
Yeah. I mean, unless, because I think like, you know, you have a funeral, if it's open casket, you're there, they'll close the casket, put it in the hearse. Unless you're like with them every step of the way to ensure that they didn't take grandma out.
Yeah. Well, or if you don't have an open casket or like cremation, how do you know that they didn't just take your body and sell it, charge you for the cremation, and there you go?
And then you think about all these unclaimed people that just have like maybe people who are unhoused or drug addicts that they're just deceased and have nobody come claim them after, you know, however long.
I was really hoping you were going to have a update because I figured you would do some updates. It was kind of a hot take, but we talked about how all those people were buried behind
that prison. Yeah, I did not look into that prison. I think it was Alabama or Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the South.
It was somewhere in the South.
Yeah. So I think that's a good place for us to stop because I don't want to forget. And I want to look into that. We've talked about this before, I want to look into those scientists that have all gone missing. So hang tight for spooky season. And I think we might have a little conspiracy session again there because I think that there's something going on. Like it's too many incidences for it to be a coincidence.
Yep.
So
I agree.
On that note, thank you for joining us in our Summer Rewind True Crime updates. I hope to have more updates on the Alex Murdaugh case as we get into spooky season. Hopefully we have like a trial set or like an update of sorts.
Yeah.
Hoping every day for updates for these unsolved cases that their families can get closure. And I know that word is so overused, but just have that feeling that they know. Like maybe there is no such thing as closure.
I would also like to see Casey Anthony get in trouble for something.
I mean, maybe that's what I'll do for the rest of the summers. I'll just find something for her to get in trouble for. So I need to get going so I can go do that. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
We love you. Please follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook. Spotify. We are up to 247. Yay. On Spotify. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I think we're doing our goals review, which is going to be super humbling because I'm sure that none of the goals that I've set have been met. So yay me. On that note, I'm Bianca.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are
Taking Back Sunday.
We hope to have more positive updates in the Alex Murdaugh case.
Why is there a thumbs down?
Did you do this?
No, it did it on its own.
Oh my gosh, that's weird. There's a ghost in here because it picks it up from like your hand. So if I maybe I did something that it like picked up. Maybe I did this. I don't know. Anyway, I hope to have...
It's not working. Okay. Oh, I saw this thing, and just because we brought up COVID, I saw this thing. It's like, you're telling me when I fart and that smell comes through my pants, my underpants, and then my jeans, and it sits in the air for a long time, that mask I was wearing was keeping me from COVID. I'm like, yeah, actually, probably not. The N95s were the better of the options, but they were not having most people wear N95s.
No.
They were wearing those little surgical masks.
They wanted healthcare workers to have those.
Yeah, and they weren't.
Yeah, I was wearing the cloth ones with sparkles. I'm like, I could smell everything.
Yeah. It was not doing anything except for, making you feel claustrophobic.
Yeah. And maybe just like, maybe not a placebo effect, but like just that comfort, like just even if it's fake, like fake hope that I'm going to protect myself from this.
Yeah.
Just maybe that is a placebo effect. Well, we can look at that. So sociology, I think.
But yeah, I thought it was funny. And it was like, yeah, that's true. Like, farts be coming out 3 layers sometimes.
And that's gas. And let me tell you, I could be wearing a snowsuit and you will smell it.